Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. This is IMAX Sports with another football video, and today I am going over my 2021 NFL 100 list. I meant to do this video this morning, but I had some work to do for school, and I really wanted to get this video out today because I haven't posted a video in 3 days, and I want to get back on some sort of schedule. So I will be doing a few more. I'll be doing 10 of these videos. I'm going to be doing 10 players in each video, going over some of the qualities that they had in this in the season, and the reasons why I have them in the 100. And comment down below who you guys think should be on the list. If you guys want to make your own lists and compare them with mine, you're more than welcome to do so. I have my 100 players determined. I haven't determined what position they're all going to be yet because I'm going to be adjusting that as it goes on, but I do have all 100 players predetermined because I want to make sure that that these are the bottom 10. And then so next week I'll have the bottom 20 and so on and so forth. Comment down below who you guys think should be in it, and if there's one player that I don't have on the list that's commented a lot, or maybe a few players, I might do a 11th video with like, hey, here's 105 through 110 of players that I think had a really phenomenal season but didn't quite make it. So I think this will be a really fun series on the channel. It's something that I can occupy my time with, and I'm really excited. So I'm sorry for blabbing a whole lot, but let's get right into it. So first on this list, we have Marquise Pouncey at number 100. Marquise Pouncey is a 9-time Pro Bowler. He's a 2-time All-Pro offensive tackle, or center, sorry. He was a 2010 All-Rookie center. He was on the 2012 and 2015 NFL 100 team, ranked number 41 and 83, and he's currently the best center in the league, and he's been the best center in the league for a very long time. Marquise Pouncey has made a Pro Bowl almost every year of his career, including this past season. His 2 All-Pros are a lot for a center, and he's one of the most consistent players on the offensive line in the NFL. I don't think that he's gotten a lot of recognition for all, like, in the 100 lists and different things like that. So I figured it would be great to add him, even if it is at number 100. And I do understand that offensive linemen are going to be lower, generally speaking. I only have a few offensive linemen, but all the offensive linemen I have on this list are phenomenal players, and only a couple of them will be very high. Number 99, we have Ronald Jones. He has 978 yards, 7 touchdowns, and 165 receiving yards with a receiving touchdown in 2020. He only played 14 games. He has 5.1 yards per attempt in 2020, ranked 8th in yards per attempt, and ranked 10th in yards per game at 69.9. His longest rush was 98 yards, tied 3rd longest of all time, and he's a 3rd-year running back with a lot of potential in the NFL. Ronald Jones has had a great career for the first few years of his career. He hasn't made any Pro Bowls, but I think that they don't. Whenever the NFL does the 100 list, it's not strictly Pro Bowlers because there's less than 100 Pro Bowlers. So you're going to have more people in the 100 list than you do have in the Pro Bowl. That being said, a lot of the extra players they have are at the quarterback, running back, and wide receiver position. I think that Ronald Jones definitely deserves to be on this list, especially with what he did in the playoffs and what he did in the Super Bowl, how he's helped his team. And Ronald Jones is a fantastic player, and I think that he's just going to get better. At number 98, we have Jermaine Edmonds. Jermaine Edmonds is a linebacker from the Buffalo Bills. He's a 2-time Pro Bowl selection in 2019 and 2020. He's never been selected to a 100 all-time team, even though he's been to 2 Pro Bowls. He has 3 passes defended, 2 sacks, 119 tackles, 77 solo, 4 quarterback hits, and 3 tackles for loss, as well as 25 tackles, 3 passes defended, and 2 quarterback hits in the playoffs. He's a young, strong middle linebacker with a lot of potential in the league. A lot of players, their first time on the list, they aren't usually very high. Jermaine Edmonds, I think, is one of those players that if he continues to play at this level, he'll definitely go up and up and up the rankings. But he definitely deserves to be on this list this year. I believe he is a 3rd or 4th year player. I want to say 3rd. And he's really good for a young player that age. Jason Kelce is who I have at 97. Jason Kelce is a tackle on the Philadelphia Eagles. In 2019 and 2020, he was selected to the 100 team at number 72 and number 94. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, 6 seasons with some sort of designation, so there's only overlap in one of those years. He was either Pro Bowl or All-Pro the last 6 years. And I don't really know offensive line stats, same with Marquise Pouncey, so I don't really have any stats for them. I just have kind of like their accolades. Jason Kelce has been a consistently good player his entire career. He's getting older, he's getting up there, but even with his age, he's still playing at a phenomenal level. He's still consistently doing very well for the Eagles, and although Carson Wentz was under major pressure this year, Jason Kelce was one of the only consistent players on the Eagles' offensive line. He did win a Super Bowl with the Eagles, and he's been on the 100 team the last 2 seasons. I think that he definitely deserves to stay on that team, even if it is at a very low, very borderline number, but 97 is Jason Kelce. And 96 is Lavonte David. Lavonte David is a 4-time NFL 100 selection in 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2020. He was number 35, 56, 53, and 100. And he was Defensive Player of the Month in September of 2020. He had 1 interception, 6 passes defended, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, 1.5 sacks, 117 tackles, 82 solo tackles, 12 tackles for loss in 2020. He's currently in the NFL. If you look at active players in the NFL, he is number 4 for career tackles, and he's number 3 for career solo tackles. He has 4 passes defended, 1 sack, and 26 total tackles in the playoffs this season. And he's a very good, strong player. He's been a consistent player in the NFL, much like Marquise Pouncey. He has been in and out of the 100 group. He was in the 100 group consistently every year a few years ago, and then last year they brought him right back at 100. I think that the way that him and the rest of the linebackers and defensive ends on the Tampa Bay roster played in the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, and how Lavonte David played not only in the regular season but in the postseason, he definitely deserves to stay on this list. I wouldn't say that he's any higher than 90, but he definitely deserves to be on the 100 list this season, being a captain on this Super Bowl winning Tampa Bay team. Demario Davis at 95 was selected as number 67 in the 2020 NFL 100 team. He was a 2019 first team All-Pro, and he had 5 passes defended, 4 sacks, 119 total tackles, 73 solo, and 10 tackles for loss in 2020. He's ranked 9th in career tackles for active players, and he's never been selected to the Pro Bowl. He had 1 all-team selection, but he's never had a Pro Bowl selection. And he's a talented player who doesn't get a lot of recognition. That's what a lot of this list is talented players that haven't gotten a whole lot of recognition for what they've done in the NFL. Demario Davis is one of those. He definitely has done a lot for the Saints team. He's one of the best players on the Saints roster, other than Cam Jordan, and he definitely deserves to be on this list at number 95. At number 94, we have Miles Sanders. Miles Sanders this season, a very similar player to Ronald Jones. He had 867 yards, 6 touchdowns, 195 receiving in 2020, but he only played 12 games instead of 14. He had 5.3 yards per attempt in 2020, ranked number 7th in yards per attempt and number 7th in yards per game at 72.3 yards per game compared to Ronald Jones' 5.1 and 69.9. He's number 3 in longest rush for 83 yards. Ronald Jones ran for a 98-yard score. He was the 2019 All-Rookie team, and he has to be on the Eagles. That definitely hurts him. Miles is a second-year running back with a lot of potential in the NFL, just like Ronald Jones, who was a third-year running back, but both of them really started last year. They both had injuries in their first couple of seasons, and although neither of them have made a Pro Bowl, I expect at least one of them to be in the Pro Bowl next year. They're both phenomenal players. They both had phenomenal starts to their career, and one of them will, and they're both deserving of the 100 team, and one of them will definitely step up next year. Frank Clark as number 93. He was on the 100 team in 2019 and 2020 at number 85 and 95. I bumped him up a couple points for this year because there were some newbies that were on the border as well, so I figured I'd give the player that's been here a couple times a slight bump up. He was a 2019 and 2020 Pro Bowl selection, very consistent. He has 4 passes defended, 2 forced fumbles, 7.5 sacks, 36 tackles, 28 quarterback hits. That's a lot of quarterback hits, and a safety. He was number 1 in safeties in 2020. So he's a strong young player who gets better and better every year. Frank Clark is a consistently good player. He played very well in the Super Bowl. He played very well in the playoffs for the Chiefs as a whole, and him and Chris Jones do very well together. He was on the 100 team last year. He got even better this year, and he'll probably continue to be on this 100 team for years to come. At number 92, we have Ben Roethlisberger, and this is his lowest career entry onto the 100 team. He's been selected to the 100 team every year of his career since its inception, only missing last season due to injury. His best ranking was 18, his worst ranking was 61. Most of the time, he was ranked between 30 and 50. His record in 2020 was 12-3. He had 3,800 passing yards, 33 touchdowns, and 10 picks, and he was number 7 in passing touchdowns in the NFL. He didn't have the best season of his career, but he definitely deserves a spot. I think that having Ben Roethlisberger at number 92 is a tough situation for me, because I think a lot of people are either going to say he doesn't deserve to be on the list or he deserves to be much higher. So that's why he's where he is. Ben Roethlisberger had one of those seasons this year where you basically say, you see what he did and you say to yourself, wow, he had a phenomenal season for someone who's 40 years old. I mean, yeah, he came off of an injury. He's almost 40 years old. Ben Roethlisberger's had a phenomenal career. He's one of those players that's in this thing every single year. He brought his team to a 13-3 record. He had almost 4,000 yards. He was number 7 in passing touchdowns. But it just wasn't the same Ben Roethlisberger that we've seen in the past. It wasn't the same guy. He lost in the first round of the playoffs. He went 12-0, and he went 11-0, and then lost for the last 5 games. I mean, it wasn't the same Ben Roethlisberger that we've seen, so I wasn't going to put him as high as he usually has been. I also thought that out of the quarterbacks that I had for the 100 team, he was the worst this year. But I wanted to make sure he got a spot because he did a fantastic job coming off of a season-long injury. He brought his team to a good record. I'm surprised they didn't go further in the playoffs. The end of their season was dismal, but he definitely deserves a spot on this list, and number 92 I think suits him for this season. If he does better next year, then he'll bump up. But right now, I think he's he definitely deserves to be on this list in that area. And at number 91, we have Allen Robinson. He was the 2016 and 2020 selection for the all-time team, for the 100 team. He was number 31 in 2016, and he was number 93 in 2020. Similar to Chris Jones, I have him bumped up a couple points from last year. He had 1,250 yards, 6 touchdowns in 2020. He was number 6 in receptions and number 9 in receiving yards. The 6 touchdowns is what kind of hurts him because he's not really an end zone threat. He never really has been in his career. When targeted, his quarterback rating was 92.3. Nick Foles had an 80.5 quarterback rating in 2020, so he was a consistent player for them. And he's a fantastic player who's definitely underappreciated. A lot of, like I've said in the past, a lot of this list from 90 to 100 are players that I think are underappreciated that deserve to be on this list, even though there's a lot of other better players than them. Allen Robinson is the lowest of many wide receivers on this list that I've made, but he definitely deserves to be on here. He's been a phenomenal player for a Bears team that hasn't had a lot to look up to. Even though they made the playoffs a few times in the last few years and they've had a winning record, they haven't been the best team in the league. And to have a player like Allen Robinson who's consistently one of your best guys, he definitely deserves a spot on this list. So, hope you guys enjoyed my first 10. I'm going to be doing this video every single week for the next 10 weeks. And I'll probably be posting them on Wednesdays. I know this was a Thursday, but I'm probably going to start scheduling them on Wednesdays. So make sure to look out for those. Comment down below who you guys think should be in my who you guys think I missed out on the 90 through 100 category, or people you think I should put in honorable mentions. I know you don't know the rest of my list yet, but start putting out some names. I'll see what I'll do with. I'll see whether or not they're already on my list. So, Thank you guys for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, smash subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Peace out.